Hi everybody, today we're going to show you how to make this Kate Spade Inspired cake. Now this is a gluten-free cake, and my friend who I made it for her birthday said that it tasted so good it didn't even taste like gluten-free. So you can use a regular cake if you want to. You don't have to use the gluten-free version. First step, in a bowl you will combine 1 cup vegetable oil with 1.5 cups sugar, Once that's done, you're going to add 4 eggs. Then you're going to beat that for 1 full minute. Now we're going to add 2.5 cups gluten-free flour. I used the Bob's Red Mill gluten-free 1-to-1 baking flour, and that turned out really well. A half a teaspoon salt, 3.5 teaspoons baking powder, 1 cup milk, and 4 teaspoons vanilla extract. Now we're going to mix this all together for 1 minute. You don't want to over mix it or else it'll get too thick. Next step, what I like to do is I like to line my pans with wax paper, and what that does, it makes really come out of the pan easily. So as you saw, I took a pen or pencil and I drew a line around the pan, cut it out, and put it in a pan. I first did that to a 10-inch pan, then I did it to an 8-inch pan. This will make a really nice tiered look. See, I lined those there and set them aside. Now I pour some of the batter into the larger pan, and then I pour some into the smaller pan. You want to make sure they both line up evenly so the cake sizes are about the same. Had a little mishap in the middle of this here. I came back to see that my dog Madison decided to jump on the counter and get into one of my cakes. So I had to start the process all over. I duplicated the recipe, so you are going to make 2 of the large and 2 of the small. Now I made 2 of these. With the first layer, with a 10-inch cake, I took buttercream frosting and I put down a crumb coat. Brushed it all around, and now I'm going to stack the second 10-inch cake on top of that as well. There's a crumb coat on the top. Even that out. And then I'm going to use a crumb coat all the way around on the side too. This, I did the exact same thing on the smaller cake. And what I like to do is when the cakes are finished like this and I put the frosting on top, I would like to put it in the freezer. It makes it a whole lot easier to maneuver your buttercream frosting. I smooth that out before I put it into the freezer. And then I took some wax paper just to make sure it's all really nice and smooth. You see, I put the larger one in the freezer, and now I'm taking a spatula and just really evening it out. Okay, so once it's done, I rolled out some white fondant. Now for the gluten-free cake, you can order gluten-free fondant online. Laid it out and smooth that whole thing out. edges and took everything off so it looks nice and clean all the way around. Did the exact same thing, rolled out some white fondant and put it on the top layer, the smaller cakes. And smooth it out all the way around as well. Excess. Now we're going to take that smaller cake and we are going to put it on the larger cake. Now I rolled out some black fondant in a long strip and use a cutting board to help do those black ribbons around the top and the bottom of each of those cakes. I did a really long one and a little bit of a shorter one. Took some water, put it on there, and wrapped the ribbon around. Did the same thing around the top. And cut it off like that, and there you have it. And when it's wet like that, it really adheres well. You also want to take just kind of like a little bit of a moist rag, and you can wipe it off, and that makes the black look really nice and kind of shiny. And I put the ribbon around the bottom and also added it around the top of the larger cake. And just kind of clean everything around with kind of a little bit of a damp paper towel, and then just smooth everything out at the very end. On the very end, you want to add some like pink roses on top. You can add some flowers. This is your Kate Spade Inspired cake. I'd love to know what you think about that cake recipe down below. Of course, we'd like you to comment as well. Tell me what you'd like me to make next time, and please give this cake a thumbs up, and I'll keep making cakes like this in the future. Thanks for watching. Bye.